Greetings to all. I would like to take this opportunity to express my deep appreciation for all the kind thoughts, the love, and the encouragement that I and my wife Mary has received, especially from my fellow Hong Kongers and our special friends abroad, near and far. It's humbling, and many thanks for your support. Now, I realized that I said I would return to do another segment on Jason. However, I'm a little surprised our buddy Jason invited me back so quickly. Apparently, a follower of Jason's has criticized some of the subtitling in the last episode. Well, I'd like to thank this person for his supposed constructive criticism. And as a matter of proper courtesy, I would like to return the favor. So today I'm going to give you, Jason, a tiny lesson in English. But before I do that, it's been brought to my attention today that you have made an assertion. You have come out in your public forum and stated that you have filed a complaint against me and my wife for disclosing the details, the confidential details of the inquiry of the independent commission. Again, Jason, true, this would be a serious allegation. However, my wife had nothing to do with this. I did it. I did it alone. Thus, you have made another public, false, and defamatory remark. These confidential records that I'm not supposed to have access to. Well, this is a very concerning allegation, Jason. So these are secret records, and apparently I have abused my alleged top secret clearance to access these records in a secure government vault somewhere. Yeah. Well, to tell you the truth, I did have to enter my secret password to get access to the internet, where all these records are public. However, you think they're secret. And this explains why you're still claiming to be the whistleblower. Because you think no one's supposed to have access to these records. Anyway, let's put the whistleblower issue to rest once and for all. And I think I'm going to have to ask you to help me here, Jason. Okay? I'm going to open up the secret records now. Okay, Jason? And we're going to go to your fourth witness statement. All right. So, fourth witness statement. October 25, 2018. So, the commission has already started in July 2018. So what is this, 2-3 months after it started? At paragraph 12, fourth witness statement of Jason Poon, he states, "It must be stressed that I did not approach the media myself in May 2018. Rather, it was Apple Daily who approached me concerning the defective works in the EWL slab. Pursuant to clause 3.4a of the confidentiality agreement, I forwarded the email in Chinese from Apple Daily to Leighton's office, together with an English translation, which I translated for his perusal. So, Jason, you stress you're not the whistleblower. Okay? So this is the end of it. Okay? The commission's already began, and you insist you're not the whistleblower. Okay. Of course, you can't be the whistleblower, Jason, because if you're the whistleblower, you breached the confidentiality agreement. And this would mean whatever monies you received covered by the umbrella of the confidentiality agreement, you would have to return. And Leighton has never sued you for breaching the confidentiality agreement. So we know you're not the whistleblower. Anyway, let's give a round of applause to Jason for stressing, making very clear he was never a whistleblower. To Jason and your minions, the days of crowdfunding and scamming the Hong Kong people, the Hong Kong public, based on the false allegation, the false assertion that you're a whistleblower, is over. It's finished. This rice bowl of yours is broken. So I conclude this point, Jason, and I appreciate you might think I'm joking, but I'm going to give you an outrageous piece of advice. Get a real job and do an honest day's work, okay? Now, let's get to the English lesson. Let me be clear. I have nothing but the highest respect for anybody who can master more than 2 languages. It's not easy to learn a foreign language. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of studying. For example, my wife Mary, she speaks Cantonese, Mandarin, the Wu dialect from Shanghai, English, obviously, French, Portuguese, Arabic. So that's what you call an extreme talent, T-A-L-E-N-T, okay? It's almost outrageous how many languages she knows. Anyway, the following here, Jason, is my most humble attempt to help you out so that your English improves. Okay, here we go.
On the screen is Jason Poon's email of September 18th, 2018 at 19:22 hours. Today, let's just look at the first paragraph of Jason's email. We can see the email begins awkwardly. Instead of beginning with the word during, it would have been more appropriate to have stated in the last few days, or over the weekend, etc. In Jason's context, by combining the preposition during with the verb are in the same sentence, there is a strong implication the author is talking about an ongoing event in the present. This impression is the exact opposite of what Jason is attempting to convey. By saying during these few days we are working tight, what Jason has done is that he has mixed up the past with the present. Jason is trying to describe something in the past. As this is the case, he should not be using the verb are. The word are is a verb that describes something that is occurring in the present. Jason should have written, over the course of the last few days, we worked, or we had worked, very hard. But, Jason stated we are working tight and hard. It is unclear what this means. One can say we are working hard, this means one is working hard in the moment. When Jason says one is working tight, this becomes meaningless. The word tight can mean constricted, snug, tense, stiff, strict, taut, etc. If Jason had said, we worked hard with a tight schedule, then the meaning is crystal clear. Jason's full first sentence reads as follows. During these few days we are working tight and hard on the suspecting technical issue with Messrs Leighton and had reached satisfactory understanding and full clarification. I.e. the suspecting subject had been cleared now and no significant impact is retained. As we now know, there were many technical issues to be addressed. So Jason should have said issues in the plural form, rather than issue in the singular form. This also applies to the word subject. Jason should have written subjects in the plural form rather than the singular form. The way Jason's first sentence is written, will leave a reader with the impression that there was only one issue or one subject, which we know was not the case. It is important to be reminded one should not lie. We, unlike Jason, do not condone such childish behavior in adults. More importantly, only an imbecile, of the highest order, would lie, in writing, in a foreign language, when the person has not even mastered the basic grammar of the language. Additionally, Jason uses the pronoun we to convey that more than one person is working on the matter. However, as we saw in the previous episode, Anthony Zervas was not with Jason when Jason was allegedly working on the construction site on September 16, 2017. So, Jason should have used the pronoun I rather than we. If Jason was an excellent English speaker, we would have no choice, sadly, but to accept Jason is a liar. However, if Jason's English is below the standard of an elementary student, then we can presume he is an idiot extraordinaire, per the English language. On the other hand, if Jason was using the word we to mean himself and the separate legal entity of China Tech, then he has confirmed a criminal conspiracy against the government, without the need to prove the participation of any other party. We also see Jason use the present participle suspecting when describing a singular technical issue. Again, by using the word suspecting, Jason conveyed a present tense when he meant to convey a past tense. Thus, the word suspected, rather than suspecting, should have been used. Interestingly, by using the word suspecting, Jason conveyed he does not have any solid evidence of any technical issues. Instead, Jason conveyed that he suspects or Jason has a suspicion. To a discerning mind, this means Jason is inventing, guessing, bluffing, and/or fabricating, that is consistent with Jason's misconduct. When Jason uses the term IE, it is understandable that he has used it incorrectly, as English is not his first language. The term IE is the short form of the Latin expression id est, which means, that is. IE is used to rephrase or elaborate on something that has already been stated. Also, one needs to put a full stop or period between the letters. An English person would have inserted the periods between the letters, and it is unlikely an English speaker would have used IE. An American might have used IE, but still, a period would be put between the two letters. An Englishman, and English speakers from Commonwealth nations, more than likely, would have used EG. EG is the abbreviation of the Latin expression exempli gratia, which means for example. So thanks to Jason's misuse of the English language in his email, be it the word suspecting or mixing up past and present tenses, we can ascertain the Leighton officers were honest when they stated that they did not read, amend, or approve Jason's email of September 18 to the government. As a matter of common sense, it follows that as the Leighton officers were being honest, then Jason was being dishonest when he claimed the Leighton officers had read, amended, and approved of his email to the government. When Jason concludes his first paragraph with the suspecting subject had been cleared now and no significant impact is retained, as noted above, he failed to use the plural form for subject, which has the domino effect of making the rest of the sentence inaccurate. Jason should have stated the suspected problems have been addressed. It is also noted Jason failed to use any commas or semicolons in his lengthy sentence. For example, or should I say e.g., a comma should have been placed after the word days in the opening part of the sentence, thus, it would be during the first few days, comma. By placing the comma in the correct position, this would enable a reader to pause and move with the writer's flow. The way Jason's first sentence is structured obliges the reader to consume it in one breath. Any English-speaking officer of Leighton would not have made this error, or any of the other errors in this email. Thus, it is reasonable to conclude that Jason's assertion in his fourth witness statement that, quote-unquote, the wordings in the email had been reviewed and amended by Leighton is a flat-out lie, and in a court of law, Jason would be guilty of perjury. Of course, the most glaring evidence that reveals Jason's doubtful statement is found in the transitive verb, amend, which means to put right or to change or modify for the better. As it has just been demonstrated, there has not been any amendments to Jason's email of deception to the government. To conclude, Jason, in accordance with his standard operating procedure, made an untrue accusation against another party. Here ends the lesson. Now, I think we can say the wacky exploits of this grifter has become boring. Moving forward, let's focus on the present and future. We need the answers as to what Jason did with the monies he raised through crowdfunding under the guise of a purported whistleblower. Let us think about why Jason attacked Mrs. Hotung after she exposed a monk who was misbehaving. What is Jason's connection to Lukwu Monastery? What is going on at Lukwu Monastery? Why did Jason attack Mrs. Hotung on behalf of the bad monk? Where is this monk hiding today? What is the Department of Justice doing about this? Many thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe if you appreciated this presentation or care to comment.